Yo, I know I promised you guys some old stuff, but the shop truck needed some love.
Hey guys, welcome to a different kind of episode of Pugliese Speed Shop. Now, you've seen that we worked on many a different type of vehicles and we got a bunch of them there. We wanted to do a different video where we actually tell you the history of them. Well, one in this one, because that would probably be like an hour and a half video, maybe even longer if we told you the history of all of them. But it's a new video format that we wanted to try and see how it would work. Now, today we're going to be telling you about the 2002 Chevy S10 ZR2 that we have here in the shop. It's the shop truck mainly. Now, before we get all the way into that, I should probably, go ahead and introduce myself because you probably haven't heard my voice on the channel before. This is Andrew. I'm Chaz's son. I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. Like the editing, the music, helping him come up with ideas for promoting on the Facebook or the Instagram page. So I'm trying to help out as much as I can because I'm a bit more tech savvy and whatnot. So that's why I'm narrating, because he figured, rather than having him trying to talk into his phone and then just give me that video, why not have it done, through a microphone and whatnot. So I'm going to be talking to you guys throughout the video, telling you the history of the ZR2, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's step back to when we first got the truck. Now this is February 22nd of 2015, and this is what the truck looked like when we first got it. I mean, you can tell it's a bit rough shape. As you can see, like the front end, she's seen better days. Fender's different. I'm pretty sure it was a different fender as well. It doesn't have the flare, as you can see, either. Which, funny story, it didn't pass inspection for because it did not have the fender flare on this fender. Who knew? But yeah, this is the next day after we got the truck back in 2015. I mean, it looked alright, but it seen better days. It was overheating. The guy tried putting in an electric fan, but it didn't work. So when we went on the test drive for it, when we first saw it, he had the heat cranked all the way, just so it would at least, stay somewhat cool so that we could take it on a test drive. But it was not good at all. If I bring it back to pictures here, you see how the front end looks. I mean, when there's another picture here, let me get to it. There's the interior again. So you see here, it's got 3 different sized wheels on it, and 2 different wheels itself. I mean, if we see this one, you see those tires and wheels, and then this one, 2 different ones as well. But as I was saying about the front end, it looks like he smashed it against 2 trees on either side, which is like a 1 in a million shot, and it tweaked the front end, so I'm pretty sure after that he just gave up on it and negligence set in. So he would just hop in it and use it for like wheeling and going hunting and whatnot, and didn't really care about anything else on the truck, because as you see, like, a little bit, it's a dirty interior, whatever, that can be easily cleaned up. But just little things, they added up, like the door handle, like the little protector thing there, that was falling off. You can't see it here, but there were no speaker grills. The defroster grill was just completely torn up. Also the airbags, they were taken out from the front, but they weren't deployed, so I think when he got it, he took the airbag sensors out so he could take it wheeling. So we had a big long job in front of us, So this was February, the day after we got it. Which, funny story about going to get it, we showed up there. Well, before that, me and my dad, we went out to dinner at the 50 Designer down the road. I didn't think anything of it. So after that, my dad started going the other direction. I was like, "Why are you going this way?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I get gas." So he went to the gas station. Then he went another different direction. I'm like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "It's a surprise. You'll see." So after that, we get to the guy's house, and turns out we were picking up the truck that day. And I was excited because it was my first car. I was 14 at this time, and I believe 2015 is when I got my license, like in the later year. Well, not license, but permit. Or it was 2016, one of those years. But this was going to be my first vehicle. It didn't turn out that way. You'll see why as we get further into the video. But so all this snow was on the ground, and it was, middle of February, snowing and all that. So when we called AAA to get them to tow the truck, they were like, "Yeah, we're going to probably be an hour and a half." So the guy invited us inside. We had some, nice warm soup, and we watched Ghostbusters with the guy. It was a fun time. We warmed up, talked a little bit, watched Ghostbusters, and then after that, AAA showed up, and then we brought the truck home. Quite a day that was. Now we're gonna skip ahead a couple months here. This is September of 2015. As you can tell, the difference between September and February. These two tires, we got new wheels and tires all the way around, and I'm pretty sure we painted the fender on the other side to match. I'm not sure, but we didn't get the flare yet. We didn't get the flare until like 2019 at least. We were mainly focusing on mechanics and making sure it actually ran and drove, because it was going to be my first car, so it had to do that. Now we're gonna skip ahead to October, and we started working on the brakes, and yeah, they weren't doing so good. I mean, God, I have not thought about these pictures in a while. I mean, they're just gone, as you can tell. These are the back brakes. So I believe this was the passenger side rear brakes, and this was the driver side rear brakes. Now, when we went to test drove it, my dad test drove it because I never drove a car at that time, nor did I know how to drive a stick shift, which this is. And he said he could feel that the brakes were not that strong and all that. So we knew that the brakes were bad, but not this bad, So anyways, after that, we replaced the back brakes, and so we did paint the other side. So this was the next day after the back brakes, so we got the back brakes done, drilled and slotted rotors, brand new pads, all that. Now the last picture we have here of 2015 is when we started the front brakes, and those were bad. The ball joints, I remember my dad was like, "Oh yeah, so you see with ball joints it's pretty hard to get out." And he's like, "Alright, so watch this," and he literally just hits it with the hammer once and they just fall out. And yeah, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that once he hit the front end, negligence just set in and he did not care about it at all. Which we knew. He said, it's pretty rough and whatnot, but we didn't know how rough. He just said that he just started driving it, not really caring about it at all. So this is the end of 2015, November 15th of 2015. We did the front end. We got new tie rod, new ball joints, obviously. Don't want to put those old ones back in. New drilled and slotted rotors, just like the back. And yeah, it was just a mess back there on the brakes. So yeah, this was 2015. So let's move on to 2016. Alright, so this is later on in 2016. There's not a whole lot of pictures just because we were working on the brakes the entire time of 2016, really. I think a couple times we put the wheels back on just so that we could clean the interior out and whatnot. But if I zoom in here, you can see that the front brakes are still being worked on. There's the drilled and slotted rotors. Towards the end, this is August of 2016, and this is when the year-long brake job happened for this truck, just because every single time we worked on it, something new would pop up that we would then have to fix in order to fix the other thing. So yeah, it was quite a journey. But as you can see, it's we're working on it, getting it more fixed up for my first, vehicle ever. And at this time too, I was learning a lot about how cars worked, how to do maintenance on it and whatnot. So it wasn't just a like, okay, let's go pick this up, fix it. All right, there's your car. It was more of a, all right, let's go pick this up, and I paid for it with allowances and money from birthday cars and whatnot. So this was literally my truck. I paid for it and whatnot, and it was also a teaching truck, so I could understand how cars worked, how to do maintenance, and all this. And that was the reason why we got this one, because it still ran and drove somewhat, but there was problems that needed to be fixed. So then if those problems came back, or if I had another car and those problems happened, excuse me, I knew how to fix it. Now the next picture is from the next day in August. We had the back brakes off again. I can't really remember why. Okay. So I think in 2016 we put the drilled and slotted rotors on the back. I can't remember. The way we did this brake job is still bizarre to me, just because it was so weird. Because as you see, we got the drilled and slotted rotors there and there as well. But I actually think that 2016 that we got the brakes all good to go, so now it actually stopped. And I mean, they were drilled and slotted rotors all the way around, new brake pads, and everything of the sort. Unfortunately, this is all we have in 2016. We weren't, this was 5 years ago now. Well, 4 really, if you want to count months, but wait, no, not 4, 5. Wow, that was some bad math, huh? Yeah. So 5 years ago, we were still working on the brakes and whatnot, and we had no intention of doing a YouTube channel or anything like that. I mean, I was in high school, well, freshman year of high school. So, and my dad was still in the Navy, so we never planned on, okay, one day you'll do a YouTube channel or you'll open up a shop, so let's continually take pictures of it. It wasn't anything like that. It was more of a, okay, here's how you do this, here's how you do this. So it was a lot of explaining, so there wasn't really time for taking pictures of the work in progress. It was more like, okay, here's the work done when we got it done. Because as you see, this is when the front brakes were done. So took a picture then, and then took a picture when the back brakes were fully done as well. So yeah, that's all I got for 2016, so let's move on to 2017. Alright, so here we are in 2017. After the year-long brake job back in 2016, we wanted to focus more on the take a break from all the mechanical and whatnot and focus on some cosmetics while also fixing other mechanical problems as well. So this is after I completely cleaned out the interior. I mean, grabbed the shampooer, shampooed the seats like 5 times, shampooed the carpet like 10 times. Just went after it. Grabbed the Armor All wipes, wiped down everything I could about 15 times probably, because it was the hunting and wheeling truck of the last guy. I mean, take it out wheeling, you don't really care if you get in with muddy footprints, whatnot. So there was some mud, dirt. There was like spilled Mountain Dew on some of the carpet, so I got all that up. And yeah, I even grabbed the seat belts and went after those on the Armor All wipes. I mean, just completely cleaned out this thing, and took off the door cards and even shampooed and wiped down those. We had to reattach that, so that's another reason why the door handle we had to reattach. That's another reason why we had the door cards off. If you see here, the Summit and the switch right there, the guy drilled it out there and put a switch, and that's for the electric fan, and the switch isn't no longer hooked up, and yeah, so now there's just a hole right there. I bet on the later ones, after we get the sticker and the switch out, you can see that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the carpet, it's no longer like muddied and whatnot. I wiped down the pedals and all that stuff down there. Wiped off the steering wheel because that was a bit, sticky from like the Mountain Dew, like I said before. And the only reason why I'm saying Mountain Dew is because there was like a couple bottles in the cab and in the bed of Mountain Dew. So definitely know that the guy was drinking Mountain Dew. Here's the little back section, and I even took out the little seat here, wiped that down and whatnot. And there was like we had the center console thing for back here. Took that off, and it was just a giant rat's nest underneath there, so we cleaned that out. And also, we gave it a quick little wash down just because it was sitting outside for a little bit, so some tree sap and whatnot fell on it, and figure we're cleaning out the interior, why not clean up the outside as well, got engine degreaser and sprayed it down on the engine as well. Here's another shot from the passenger side of the interior. You can see how nice and clean the seats are after I shampooed them. And yeah, you can see that we took some of the paint that we used to paint the fender there and paint some of the holes, well, not holes, but nicks from the acorns falling down and whatnot onto the bed there, just so then it looked nicer, So we're going to skip ahead about a month here after we got the door cards back on, and shampooed and wiped those down like I said as well. And there's the interior all back together after being cleaned out very thoroughly. I mean, month after the first shampoo and whatnot. I'm pretty sure I did another shampoo and another wipe down when we put these back on as well. So this is another month later. Let me zoom in here. So this is when we got into the wiring of everything, and as you can see, the dash is off, up here's off. I mean, when the guy put in the electric fan, he spliced so many wires all over the place, splicing wires that didn't even make sense to splice. I don't know if he 100% knew what he was doing, but I don't know. So Dad got after this, doing all the wires. Here's another shot of it from the inside, and here you can see, whoops, not that far, all the splicing and all this stuff that he did. I mean, I don't know why he did any of it up there. It does make sense, but the gas gauge didn't work, so he was tracking it with the miles travel thing and whatnot. So I think he maybe tried to route something up there with wires. I don't know. I can never figure it out. But yeah, I mean, the wiring situation in this thing, I don't know if there's a picture of it. I really hope, but it was like a giant mound of wires that weren't needed at all that we took out of this thing. And like a giant mound, I mean like probably about like 2 feet tall of wires. It was bad. But hey, look at that. He got the dashboard back on there. Huh? Look at that. And if you see here, see the switch is gone now. So we were gonna just get a new Summit sticker. I remember saying that, but at that point we just scraped the sticker off and just left it like that. So yeah, got the dashboard back on. He got the center thing up there back on. Also at this point we got the speaker grills and the defrost grills. Why did I say defrost? Defroster grill back on there. Sorry, I like to second guess myself talking sometimes, you know how it is. But yeah, got everything back the way it was, so now this thing was ready to go out driving again. I mean, it's all clean now. There's no draws anywhere from the wires that were spliced in. We were good. Now we focused on the front end because how he hit the trees, he pushed in on the front end. So this was to make sure that the headlights and whatnot were actually mounted, because they weren't mounted in there that well at all. You can see here like the brace for the bumper and whatnot was pushed in. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. He also had like the weird halogen bulbs hooked in there, but we just took those back to stock. He did a lot of like wiring things on here that weren't needed, and he just spliced it into the old connectors that should not have been done. It was weird, but we just took all the wiring back to stock pretty much. Like, it was ridiculous. What's the next thing that's or is this it? This is it. Alright, so this is the last picture of 2017 truck. So yeah, right here we're getting everything figured out for mounting the headlights and whatnot, and actually getting the front end to look better. So yeah, this is 2017, and next up will be 2018. Alright, here in 2018, We got the front end all figured out. This is right before started reassembling the front end, putting the headlights back on, new grill. Yeah, here's the new headlights and new grill and everything. And funny story, the grill here, we were walking around the local thrift store, right? Just because we dropped off some stuff there. We were just walking by to kill some time, and we walked down one aisle, and there sitting was just the grill that we needed. And it was just ridiculous. It was just sitting right there. Bought it, went home and put it on. I don't know how we found it there. Yeah. Just shows you gotta look around at the most random places to find what you need sometimes. But yeah, so we got it all back together and whatnot. And he had one side all done. I don't know why he didn't take a picture of it all done. Who knows, but... Or this side was still giving him problems, that's right. The passenger side is... It's the most messed up side. It still gives him problems to this day. So he was probably still trying to figure this out. But yeah, 2018 we got the front end all back together, new grill, and all this stuff. And yeah, unfortunately this is all I got for 2018. Yeah, if we look here, this is, if I go back, sorry. This is April of 2019, and then this is September of 2019. Or 2018, I'm sorry. Yeah, April of 2018, September of 2018. Yeah, so by this point, we got the front end all done. It was just a lot of other stuff that we had to do as well for the front end that just kept coming up when we were trying to do it, that delayed the overall finished product of getting the front end done. Yeah. So that's 2018, and let's move on to 2019. Alright, so here we are in 2019. This is when we got to the new house and all that. So there's a lot more of the work to get it done and registered and inspected and whatnot was done in the shop. There's a good amount of videos in here as well, so what I'll do is I'm just going to put all the videos in right now, play them back to back to back. And all the other pictures I'll come back and show you after the videos are done. So yeah, be back in a bit.
Cool. So I'll make a little video here, send over to Chip.
What's that?
Well, you know, he's doing all this hard work. So I want to show the other people doing some work too. This guy. What do you see we've got going on here? A little red in the face, buddy. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Got this new fully manual bent exhaust system from Dynamax. You see he's pushing that in the old S-Dime here. He loves when I call it the S-Dime. Look at this. This is all right. So, and you know, you gotta have a good little shop dog. He's laying there chilling. This guy's hard at work. Here's the old rusted shit we pulled out. Flowmaster. Shit, that looks kind of like one of your drain pipes, dude. No, I'm fucking with you, sorry. But, we got the old Dynamax muffler here. Slap that in there once this guy's done. And, maybe we'll go past the fucking inspection sometime soon, huh? What do you think, buddy?
Yep.
Sweet. All right. All right, we're gonna fire it up. Finally get this fucking exhaust done. I'll go around the other side. Sure. Sounds like a fucking pissed off V, doesn't it? That's what happens to put Dynamax on a V6. But it actually doesn't sound too bad just I don't know. Rev it up again, dude. Most importantly, there's no leaks. So, look at him, there he is. That's it, he's just sitting there, not doing a whole bunch of nothing. Here we got some brand new calipers going in, courtesy of Napa. Well, the normal I gave them $100 something and they gave us some calipers. I guess it's not courtesy of them, but
You're not good with words, are you?
shut it. You done yet?
No.
How about now? So here you go. It looks, there's not much more new crap I could put on there. Believe it or not, that bracket's also new. It's just been weathered a little bit, but it's got about 12 miles on it, I think. So he's looking for tools now. Apparently he's not doing a good ATAP.
Where'd you put the bolts?
The other ones with the on the other side there. The other side with the blue Loctite on them.
What did you just say?
Let's go around the other side.
I'm not liking this at all.
Look at that. Good thing it wasn't a snake. It got your ass.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Alright, I lost my helper, but got the brakes all bled. Yeah, Chip, that damn bracket's new. See? It's just surface rust. New sliders, all that. See that backing there is all new. New gaskets, the whole shooting match. It looks like fuck, but you know, of course I had to go with the drilled and slotted rotors because I don't know. Because if you look around the rusted fucking leaf spring, fresh exhaust, all mandrel bent, stainless Dynamax shit all the way back there, and I don't know if that's an attempt at a chrome fucking thing or what, but it's done. Slap the wheels on it, go through some burnouts. Alright, things need to move a little bit backwards because I just drove this thing and now I got this all pulled apart. So if you see that side not hit, this side, holy shit. Which is ironic because this side, replacement fender, this side, stock fender. But already had to do some air framing. Can't really see it. I don't know, maybe, kind of. That's all new bracketry. Set of welds that, you know, look like crap. Yep, those are mine. So, I had a bumper on right, but apparently that came out really nice. When you don't look directly at it. Now I gotta beat the shit out of this because, like, see, like right here, not so much over here, but right here should be straight, and it's like not. So I can't get the lights to line up, and they won't fucking go the right way. So yeah, now that's all off. We'll get it. Well, took a little doing, but that son of a bitch is straight. And all little holes, like this little guy right there, and those two things right there. Line up perfectly for the lights and the grill. Does not work. Some of the really calibrated tools I use here, this started off as a solid piece, and then I beat the fuck out of it. We had Excalibur there, prying on a couple things. Slide hammer. And then I had to freaking modify it, so that worked out well. So it's giving you the finger, kind of like that. Paint it up. Once that dries, we'll throw all this fucking brand new shit on the front of it. Call it a day.
Alright, you're probably looking at this picture right now trying to figure out who left the remote in the truck here. Funny story, this wasn't us. I'm pretty sure that this has been in the truck since we got it, and we found it in 2019. Don't know why it was there, but hey, always the last place you look, right? But yeah, as you saw in the other videos, we got the brakes all done. We got, you know, he was working on the front end more, just trying to work the metal back into the correct position. As you can see, he's got, you know, his giant screwdriver, big old hammer, some wood and whatnot. He was getting after it. But I mean, look at the finished product right there. Man, looks stock, huh? Got everything all done up there. Looks nice. Also another picture here. He went ahead and polished up the taillights and whatnot. You can see after and before. Not really sure why it's inverse of what you always think it is, but this was actually at the old house. We moved in 2019, so some stuff had to be put on hold while we were moving. But yeah, polished up the taillights, made them look good. But yeah, so that's all for 2019, and let's see if I got anything else. Alright guys, so that's all the stuff I got for you. I mean, I went ahead and set up a little side-by-side of the day we got it and present day, and I mean, you can just see the difference in it. It doesn't even look like the same truck, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and play the final walk-around video, and yeah, that's it for me.
Hey guys, got the S10 in the shop. Figured since you've seen on the channel a little bit in the background, doing a little bit of work here and there, might as well make a video on it and yeah, give you guys a background, let you know what's up. So it's an 02 S10 ZR2 package, 4-wheel drive, got the Vortec 4.3 V6 in it with a 5-speed. A peppy little truck, you know, pretty good. We picked it up about 6 years ago. Actually, the kid bought it. It was his first vehicle, and it was mangled. So this front end is all new. Not just the body panels, but also the wheel hubs, ball joints, you know, all the steering components. Everything up front is new. The airbags, they weren't deployed because I guess the guy had them disconnected, but all the stuff for the airbags was missing, which, you know, that won't let you pass inspection. We ended up getting all that out of a junkyard. Poor kid was drilling and beating on rivets for, I don't know, about half the day, getting that stuff out of there. Had like 3 different size tires on it. Lights didn't work, turn signals, brakes were awful. It was overheating because it had a really trashy electric fan set up on it. We got rid of that. Got a mechanical fan back in there, you know, all the original stuff. And yeah, now it's all fixed up. We had the dash was messed. I mean, everything, you know. We got some of these little, like the speaker grills, and then like the, what do you call that, the defroster stuff, and of course then he put a little Kenwood stereo in it. The seats were in good shape, door panels, carpet, all that stuff was all pretty clean, just needed, you know, a little once over. The wiring, I don't know what happened. There was a guy, a solid daily driver for a long time, and then he had a problem. I think he was wheeling with it or hunting with it or something, hit a tree, and then it just became his hunting rig after that. You know, at that point, negligence sets in big time. But yeah, it's a pretty quick little truck. I don't know if he did some work to it or not, but he actually ran it at our little local drag strip there. So the little Midnight Madness action. He said it did pretty good, and I'll tell you what, I believe it. So we had it's got a Magnaflow exhaust on it. You know, it came stock with the, I think it's like a 2-inch lift and 31s, Bilstein shocks, all that kind of stuff. That stuff's all still pretty original. A little bit, I got to do I got a cab corner for it. I got to burn in there. Let's see, we put a windshield in it. We did a little bit of, you know, driveway paint repair just to make it look clean. You know, this was his, and then it was a great first vehicle for him. Then he got the Caddy. He had a Jeep for a little while there too, which, well, we still have. Apparently I got a problem getting rid of vehicles. But, yeah, and then he was going off to school, and he's like, yeah, he was going up in New York. He didn't really want to drive a stick, run around New York City. I get that. Took the Caddy, and said, hey, you know, whatever. So it's now a shop truck, and that's what it's been here for the last year or so. But yeah, we just had it in the shop, had to throw a radiator in it, and now it's back in the hunt. You know, $50 off of eBay, no big deal. And yeah, then it took me 20 minutes to throw it in. It was really straightforward. So there's no video on that because it's just simple. But a couple things I gotta do on it still. I gotta swap this fender because you see it's missing that fairing or the fender flare, and they break when you're trying to rob them. So got a fairing actually, a fairing. fender. And I'm going to take that, throw that on there, and I got to swap out that back door because it won't open, so I got a replacement door for that. But yeah, that's it. 02 S10, solid little shop truck, and that's what's up. Well, guys, hope you like learning the story on the kid's first truck here. This kind of goes to show you, it doesn't have to be the coolest thing out there to have a cool story and deserve to be saved, because this thing was left for dead. So if you're looking for some kind of project, it doesn't have to be this wild thing, something like this, whatever you can afford. If that's what you're looking to do, get out there and do it. Till then, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend, and hey, thanks for watching.